Good day, Diana here. We have our scene set up and we're ready to start learning how to use the path tool. If you do not see the path tool under your props, you can download it under your free resources. The path feature allows you to create a path that you want your object to follow on the screen. You can create a path up at the top by clicking on Create, sliding down to create a path, or you can just go to the left side of your screen and click on the path tool. Now when you start to click, as you click, it will just create a line. Now if you want to make that line curved, all you have to do is hold your mouse key down and you'll end up with some really nice little curves. And you will run this around until you have the path that you want. Right click to release it. When you right click, your path properties is going to come up and it's going to allow you to either create another path or add points to the path that you already have. At the end, you can actually click on add points, go to the end, and it would let you start again adding points. You can also close the path by clicking the Close Path button. And when you do that, the End button will go completely to the Beginning button, and that will close your path. I'm going to undo that for now. Okay, so now we have a path. I decided that I don't really care for the really sharp points, so I'm going to select the whole thing, and I'm going to just right-click on one of these little paths. And at the bottom, you can see there is a Bezier, a linear, or a smooth. I just want this whole thing to be smooth, so I'm going to click on the smooth button. And you can see it smoothed every single one of my buttons. Now, if there's any place that you need to change, you just right-click on Path Properties, and it will bring up your little path, and you can actually change it to wherever you want or however you want. You can just play with it any way you want. So it's a really nice feature. Okay, now that we have our little line made, let's bring in a little fish. So we're going to go to Props, and we're going to bring in our first little fish. And we're going to bring it in as a static image. And there he is. We're going to make him a little smaller. Now what we can do, once you have your little fish in, if you right click on the fish and go to path, you can select pick a path, and you will see it will allow you to pick where you want to put him. Now, you don't even have to put him at the beginning. You can put him anywhere you want. If you don't like where you put him, you can always right click, go to path, and it'll say detach from path. When you click that, it'll unhook him from the path, and you can move him wherever you want. I'm going to undo that for now. Now, once we have the path, let's open our timeline, and we can see in the timeline the path for our fish. And what we need to do now is pick our little red ending marker and decide how long we want our little video to last. And then we're going to go to that end point. We're going to drag him all the way through to the end point, and that's where we want him to end up. So now we go back to the beginning, we play it through, and there he goes, following the path. Now, if you notice, he is in front of everything. You might want to know how you can change that. If you go up here to your camera and move this around a little, let's click on our little tree here, and you'll get an arrow, and it'll allow you to move that tree forward. And you can actually move it forward. You can see where he's behind and now he's forward in the path. Then let's click on our big rock, bring it forward a little in front of the path. Now click back and go back to the beginning. And if you notice now, if we scrub through the timeline, he is behind this right now. And then as he hits the rock, he's behind the rock. And then he's in front of the coral and goes to the end. And that is how you move the different layers back and forth so that your animation can go forward or behind. Under path properties, you can generate keys along your path, which will help you when you want to see. You have no keyframes, so you can actually generate keyframes along the path, and so now you have some keyframes along your path. If you go down to the timeline and right click on one of your keyframes, you can see the transition curve. And if you bring it up, this window is amazingly fun to use with the path tool. You can accelerate certain areas of the path, you can decelerate, you can smooth it, you can make him jitter, you can just play with all kinds of things. I don't want to go into it because our lesson has exceeded my time limit, and I hope that you have gotten enough knowledge about the path tool to be able to at least create a path for one of your little objects. I hope to see you in the next lesson. Have a great day, Diana.